Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you are joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that only gives you quality news and quality information on all the matter where they happen for Biafran territory. Please subscribe to this channel if you've not yet subscribed, and make sure you turn on your notification, because that is the only way you can get notified whenever we drop our spanking news. But one thing you're sure of getting is only the quality news and information. Now, straight up to the video you're about to watch. This particular video is a continuation of the last video I posted. The first one was Dr. Cho Ayaba, speaking out, and making Biafrans understand the need for this alliance. You people don't know what is happening in Osumo. We've been giving you the update. We have continued to give you the update. And currently, it go hot for there because of the Biafran Liberation Army, on how they have, laid down their lives to make sure that the freedom that we truly deserve come to us as quickly as possible. How can a country decide to use fighter jet against its people? Whatever, Biafra does not belong to Nigeria, but in the right sense, how can you use a fighter jet? Come to think of it, the same Nigeria we are talking about, is it not the same Nigeria that BH have terrorized for several years? The same Nigeria we were talking about that is using Tucano jet against Biafran. Is it not the same people that couldn't even go into the Sambisa forest to fight these terrorists that was ravaging the country? What are we not saying? But the reality is that no matter how they tend to fight Biafrans, no matter what they do, Biafrans will never give up in the quest for this freedom. You will hear what the Prime Minister said, and you will see that no matter how you hate the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá, the reality is that, if you believe it or not, if you like it or not, then don't give a mantle. He is the one carrying the mantle for the Biafran struggle currently, in the absence of Onyendum Nnamdi Kanu. If you think that this is so untrue, please tell me a better person who has done better than the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. In few months, he was able to get to this particular level that nobody has actually gotten to. Èkpá has proven to be the true son of Onyendum Nnamdi Kanu. Take me to court if you have issue with that. Take me to court if you have issue with that. And no wonder he's not even shaking with all the propaganda the Nigerian government have been giving. The whole propagandas, that these marauders, these terrorist media houses have been given against him. He is not concerned. He doesn't care what you think about him. He is not ready to give in and to give up in the struggle. He is not shaken by whatever you feel. He is not moved by who you are. The reality is that the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá is here. And he is here to get the freedom that the people truly deserve. And nothing is going to stop that. Not even your propaganda. Not whatever you think or whatever you feel about him. It is not about what you think about him now. Like he has always said, is about what you will say about him later. This particular video by the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá went deep into clarifying some serious issues. Just as he always does, he has clarified a pressing issue that Biafrans needs to know about. Enjoy this video, and the best thing you can do at this point in time is to make sure you share this video to as many groups, to as many platforms as possible. Share them to your brothers and your sisters. Make them know wetin dey happen. Those in diaspora are informed. Share it to those in Biafran land that doesn't even know what is happening in Biafran territory. And also, we urge you to continue to support us in any way you can. Enjoy this wonderful video.
It's between is in the coastal part of Biafra. The blockade of Biafra, Cameroon and Nigeria used the Ambazonia border. And so our people must understand that having studied the mistake of the Biafran people in the past, having studied how Nigeria were able, with their counterpart, the Britain, were able to starve our people to death, especially our children, during the genocidal war, it is of utmost importance that Biafra of today block every loopholes. What we see as the mistake of our past heroes shall and can never ever repeat itself again. And I will assure Biafra people today, Alliance of the Biafra Ambazonia has addressed the issue of blockade. It can never ever happen again. Wow. That is number one. Number two, looking at, I will not go into addressing what Cho have said because he has actually virtually touched the main issues on that report. But what the Biafran people and Ambazonia must understand as well is that the war against Biafra is Nigeria, and the war against Ambazonian people must be fought.
Okay, there is a break in transmission. Wait for the Prime Minister to return, please. We are here gathered with the Prime Minister of the Indigenous People of Biafra and the President of the Ambazonia Council. The two nations are here to deliberate on issues bordering the interests of the Ambazonian people. Stay tuned as the Prime Minister returns to the microphone. We understand that the connection may be kind of hectic, and a lot of people are trying to hook up, so there might be some discrepancies coming in from the connecting angle. Do bear with us as we keep the space on in return of the Prime Minister.
Yes. Sorry for that.
Prime Minister,
So,
welcome back.
Saying,
welcome back.
Thank you very much.
You were muted. In case you have said something that we didn't get to, you may rephrase from where you stopped, please.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, the war that Nigeria Islamic State and that of Cameroon has brought on both nations is not a war that should be ignored. It's a war that must be fought with this alliance. And like they actually captured in the report, and quote, both nations looking for a safe haven. But where they got it wrong was that this safe haven is capable of destabilizing the region. That is a very wrong narrative from the ICG. They should have ought to know who is destabilizing this region. Is it the Biafra government? Is it the Ambazonia Governing Council? The answer is no. Our alliances will rather safeguard our people, give us the leverage to use both territory for the best interest of our people and our nation, and at the same time to defend our women and our children, sharing intelligence, including on security. And that is actually what could bring a solution to already destabilized region. The region is already destabilized. And as a result of the destabilization of this region, that gave birth to the agitation for independence of Ambazonia. The same destabilization, killings, genocide led to the agitation for the independent state of Biafra. So how could it be that those fighting for survival, fighting for self-preservation, will become those that will destabilize the region? That is a narrative that must be corrected. At the same time, I am not actually bothered by what anybody writes these days, because we know most of these organizations who fund them, no matter how they pretend to be neutral. We also know whom interests they always write to protect, no matter how neutral they claim to be. In a country where the military, who ought to be protecting the territorial integrity of such country, if it actually exists, are the one killing children, killing women, just what Hamas did to Israel. And somebody will wake up, pick up a pen, do a research, and his or her finding is that the alliances will further destabilize the region. And so I will use this opportunity to address the fact that the Biafra alliance will not and will never destabilize the region. Rather, the alliance of Biafra and Ambazonia will only be the solution for the already destabilized region, which is being funded by the Islamic State. And we have been able to find the solution to the problem. And we are applying it. The policies and the measures we are taking today has proven that indeed the hope of the millions of the Amazonians and millions of Biafrans lies on our boat government. And there is something I would like to tell to Biafran people today, and those who care to know. For those asking us to take a model from other freedom fighters, or from those who have succeeded in the past, I have this to tell them today. I may not have said this anywhere. We are not taking any model from anybody. We are not taking any model from Mandela.
Yes.
We are not taking any model from Gandhi.
Yes.
We are not taking any model from Martin Luther King Jr. We are not taking any model from anybody. The reason being that we will solve our own problem in our own way.
Yes.
Gandhi solved the Indian problem in Indian way. Mandela solved the South African problem, apartheid problem, in their own way. Martin Luther in America also followed what he believed would work for them in America. That does not mean it is going to work for Amazonia. That does not mean it is going to work for Biafra. And you do not expect me to go on hunger strike like Gandhi did in order to register my grievances and disapproval of the killings by the Nigerian state. Nigeria will be happy that I'm on hunger strike. They think that they may even pray that the hunger will kill me so that they will be able to overrun our people. Is that the kind of Gandhi? Is that the kind of a system somebody would like me to take to go on hunger strike? Nigeria will be celebrating. We are designing and following our own history, the history that we believe that we are creating for the freedom of our people. What is going to work for us? Not those that other people have used and they work for them.
Yes.
Nigeria is a complex entity, a complex Islamic state that needed a complex solution. And that's why most of the actions we are taking today, a lot of people can never understand it. But the result is what is speaking for itself. The report from the ICG, as we commend them for bringing the alliance of Biafra and Amazonia to the international level, we also will not be so cheap to accept everything that was written there. And I am even surprised that this particular statement is coming from them so fast, so quick, because we've not even implemented the Biafra and Amazonia alliances policies to the fullest. Because by the time that implementation starts coming in, believe me, Cameroon will understand that this is not business as usual. Nigeria will also understand that this is not 1967 and 1970. The Amazonia and Biafra alliance has come to stay for only one thing and nothing else: the interests, best interest of both nations, for the survival of the Amazonia people, for the survival of the Biafra people. We have been able to seal the borders to make sure that anytime Cameroon comes to kill, they will be eliminated. Anytime Nigeria comes to kill, they will also be decimated. That is what all this alliance is all about. Making sure our women and children are not getting killed like chicken in the past, like they killed them in the past. And nobody talks. Making sure that we create the enabling environment to have supplies of arms, sharing of intelligence, making sure that we provide the necessary environment for the armies that are fighting the enemy of our people. So my fellow Biafran and Amazonian, you must understand that this is the beginning of a history. It may sound like a joke to many, but believe me, the history is what we have to create by ourselves. It is what we create that the people will talk about. It is how we create our own history, our own freedom is the way the world will see us. We will not allow anybody to write our history, write what we intend, our intention of becoming alliance nation, recognizing each other, what the intention is and what the intention would be. We have to dictate how the enemies will talk about us, not them writing our history and our story. So as I am applauding the ICG for recognizing the fact that Ambazonia-Biafra alliance is not to be taken as a joke, at the same time, I am faulting them for misrepresenting the intention of the alliance. The intention of the alliance is to safeguard both territory, to make sure that our women and children are safe and are not living in IDP camps as being orchestrated by both terrorist countries. And that particular reason and agenda leading to this alliance has been achieved to a certain degree. Like I have said in the past, and I have mentioned here today, we have devised a means to fight the both nations independent in our own way. That is very, very peculiar. That can never be the same with what any other nation have done. They will write our own history, what we asked them and what we did, not what other people did. Nigeria as an Islamic state has committed crimes against humanity in Biafra land, and nobody has condemned them. The same thing is happening in Ambazonia. Nobody has condemned them. In the first place, the ICG should have focused on calling on the AU to call Yaoundé to order and Abuja to order to stop killing Biafrans and Yaoundé to stop killing Amazonians. That should have been more understandable if the ICG focused this particular analysis from this context. We are the victims, and we remain the victim. The ICG should have called on African Union to call Cameroon to order. The ICG should have called Nigeria, Islamic State of Nigeria, to call the AU, to call the Islamic State of Nigeria to order. Not to discuss about the Biafra and Ambazonia alliance. And let me tell you, they will fail. Because where they think that we are stopping is when we are starting. This alliance will make sure that we ruthlessly protect our land, protect our women and our children and our properties. And anybody who crosses our land will die. Enough is enough. I don't know if Dr. Cho is back, but remember that the Biafra next convention is coming up this year, and Amazonia and Biafra will again shock the world on our next phase in Finland. Dr. Cho, I cannot see you again. I think network is really disturbing this space. You can see a lot of people are going out,
the network
coming
is
back
terrible.
at the
The
same time.
network is terrible.
Yeah, I don't know whether it is on purpose. We have over almost 2,000
Yes, sir.
people here, and you know, they are kicking them and bringing them back. I have lost Dr. Cho, and so I think we wait for him to come back. If he does, please, can you bring him if he's back?
I'm looking for him, sir. I'm looking for him, and I'm waiting for him.
Today, we have seen that the leader of Hamas is in Nigeria. It is not a rocket science. I have said it severally that Nigeria will be the biggest threat to the West. Nigeria will be the biggest threat to America. And like we have said in the past, what this terrorist threat in the next 5 years, it is only Biafra that will make it possible. It is only Amazonia that will make it possible. These two nations will emerge in West Africa to put a stop to the upsurge of terrorists. As Africa stands today, especially in the West Africa, it is only Amazonia and Biafra that will be able to checkmate this upsurge of terrorist activities within the Sahel region. So the world needs Amazonia and Biafra like never before, like no other nation. And Dr. Cho have just informed me that he is having problem signing in into the space, and that is very strange. He has just informed me that the page is telling him that the page cannot be found. That is very, very strange. I will have to send the link again to him to see if he's going to come back.
Yes.
And as we wait for Dr. Cho, I will have the opportunity, and some of you will be privileged to ask a few questions before I leave. I will just take like 3 questions, please. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I cannot hear Dr. Robi. Is she there?